Hello and welcome to the newest edition of Cheap Homes. We're still waiting on the housing market to sort of flop a bit, and it is flopping a bit. And Fannie Mae has come out and made the statement that the housing uh, drop or crash or whatever you want to call it is not over, and we're gonna see a housing crash that's gonna lead to what they call a mild recession, which is best case scenario. Uh, If they're saying that, hold on to your seat. That's what I tell you. You know, I went a little bit into my qualifications. Uh, One thing I didn't mention is I used to sell cars, and eventually I'll do a video when I think it's a good time to go out and buy a new car or buy a used car from a dealer on how to negotiate a price, where the dealer is going to trip you up, and so on and so forth. And if I don't make that video when I'm saying car prices are dropping, if I don't include that, please send me a message. Hold me to my word. Shouldn't have to. I do it myself. But I wanted to give you, I do give some uh, perspective, my own perspective, my own trading, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. Because I really would like people who have nothing. If you have $10 in the bank, download Robinhood right now, attach your bank account to your Robinhood account, and take that $10 and put it in Robinhood. Now, what would I buy? It's not financial advice. I'm just, it's entertainment. What would I buy? I would buy Invite. It's trading about $1.08. And I wouldn't be afraid to hold that long term. If I had $10 in the bank, that's what I'd do with it. So there you have it. I'll just give you a little background on my own experience trading. I started trading um, for myself back when the COVID hit. I started watching the COVID, watching the COVID when I was in China. As soon as I went to Italy, I was like, okay, game over. It's coming here. What are they going to do? They're going to lock us all down, shut down the economy like everybody else has. Uh, now, I was even like gambling, like whether the COVID cases were going up or down the next day. I literally traded on the COVID. Um, and the day it dropped 3,000 points is the first day I bought stock. Now, uh, during the next 8 months, I put $7,000 in. At one point, I was up to $22,000. I started trading the SPACs. I got very good at trading the SPACs. I'm not even going to tell you what a SPAC is if you don't know what it is, because it's really not even relevant to today's market. If you want to think about trading a SPAC, you can look at True Social. That's Trump's. That's the only SPAC I'd even bother with. Trump's social networking site. Um, and I got out. I had $14,000. It wasn't bad. 8 months. I mean, my brother's a hedge fund manager. He doesn't return 100% profit for his customers. Overall portfolio over 8 months. Now this time I got in. I've had deposits in the account of $150, $400, $450, and $370, with a total deposit of $1,270. And I have, when I checked it yesterday, last night, I had $2,340 in the account. So I've almost returned 100% a few weeks. Call it beginner's luck, call it what you want. Those are the numbers. Am I gonna that's what they are. Those of you who know me know I wouldn't bother lying. It's not worth it. Um, but again, if you have $10 in the bank, download Robinhood and I would buy $10 worth of Invite. That's what I'd do if I had $10 in the bank. So I don't know how I tell you to do it. Well, I can tell you to do it, and it's entertainment. God, legal, schmiegel. SEC's got us all pinned. The hedge fund managers are returning 20%. And, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you, I'm disabled. I collect disability. I receive $1,200 a month, and I find a way to save money to trade. Do I make major sacrifices to do this? Yes, I do. Do I have a family to support? No, unfortunately, I don't. I wish I did. Um, but yeah. So those are my numbers of trading, my own experience. I would not necessarily ever suggest anyone follow my path. In fact, I didn't follow anybody's path. I didn't do any research on trading or stocks or anything. I just did what I wanted to do. And I won. I won. So, and I'm winning again. So, I'm actually trying desperately to get out of the market completely. There's talk that this AI is gonna save us all from a financial crisis. Which I yes and no. I don't. My personal opinion is no. That's not going to be the case. And I'm getting out, and I'm going to be locked and loaded, ready for everybody to be losing and selling and pain and misery and buy stuff up cheap. Uh, Trying to think what else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get other people involved in trading who never were, never thought about it. It's done a lot of things for me. It's helped me manage my money because if I'm going to spend $1 on a soda, which is very hard to do, well, do I want this soda or could I have a glass of water and buy a share of Invite? Um, and I do. I really do like, you know, do make sacrifices to save that money. Um, so if you don't think it's possible, figure out your own math, I guess, in your own situation. Um, Car prices are down 7% year over year overall. Uh, and I think they'll continue to decline. I think you'll see a real decline come the fall. I think new inventory is going to be up, and those are used car prices, are down 7% year over year. I think both will be down. And then I'll make a video on how to go in and buy a car from a dealer. Um, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about my own history. I've delved into the geopolitics of things a bit. Um, not, uh, Unfortunately, I can't verify this. I actually intended to verify it by posting it on my Facebook account. Um, I had posted that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are your next president and vice president. That was before Biden picked Kamala as your vice president. I posted that on Facebook. But of course, with all the talk about a rigged election, listen, if the Justice Department is prosecuting one of the leading opposing candidate to the incumbent, and that person was Donald Trump, and they're prosecuting him for crimes, well, I don't know who's running the show. Is the election already tainted? My personal opinion is yes, yes, and from what I see from uh, the deep state, that it is no Trump at any cost. In other words, make sure he does not win by any means deemed necessary. Now, how far will they go? To any lengths. To any lengths. It's a common directive in law enforcement. You know, arrest him by any means deemed necessary. Well, it's make sure he's not president by any means deemed necessary. Uh, so, you know, when I say Kamala is your next president and she's going to take the White House before the next election, I still believe that. I think there's another scenario where the Democratic Party could come out way ahead and where Kamala herself could come out way ahead. Uh, if Joe Biden is elected and then he goes to the old folks' home or he gets prosecuted and thrown out of office for his own criminal activity, Kamala Harris will have the duration of his term along with the possibility of two more terms following that. Um, and uh, so that's a scenario. I don't think that's a scenario we're going to be headed. I still say she'll take the White House before the election. She'll reverse immigration, and she will win. Donald Trump will lose, and I'll vote for him, but he'll lose. In fact, we should all vote for him because he can't win anyway. so, and you know, I've been looking at this case with this Neely kid getting choked out in the subway, and I was just, you know, this this somebody has a right to put their hands on me because I made what they perceive as loud, threatening statements. Listen, and to the point where they kill me. Listen, if I can't see this kid having a chance in hell, especially in New York, where the New York jury they're gonna hang him, and they should. If they don't, it's you know, well, this guy was homeless, and well, he was trying to hustle in his own way, and Neely was sick of watching it, and he's a soldier, so you know he'll tap into that privilege. The courts they do they'll take that into account. Someone's a soldier as well. To an extent, maybe they should. When you talk about the death of another person, I think you should just leave that by the wayside. And I'm watching this Uvalde. Jesus. This video on what happened down there in Uvalde with the police not going into the school. You know, I saw it as soon as I heard the phrase like "Blue Lives Matter." Like, if you're a police officer and you're saying "Blue Lives Matter" before your shift, well, yeah, they do, of course, but so does everyone else's. Your purpose in being a blue life is uh, to save your own, save other lives, save your own. See, uh, at the risk of your own. Not to say that oh well these cops are professionals and that wouldn't. Well, look at what they did. Okay, you want to think your way out of everything. Look at the facts. Uh, nah, I noticed they're always touting how quickly they kill the shooter now. Um, but yeah, the election, it's well, whoever the Democrats put up, they're going to win, unless it isn't Donald Trump. Do I think they'll tolerate a DeSantis? Sure, I think they will tolerate a DeSantis. They will not tolerate a Trump. And you know, just I would tell you, hold tight. If you have a major purchase to make, hold off on the house. Fannie Mae would tell you the same thing, which is kind of setting up the market for well, setting up the market for a crash. People are going to want to see this burn before they buy. And the car market is it's softening every month. It softens, and the stock market we have an underlying banking crisis, and I don't see how anything's going to save you from a banking crisis. You've got debts that are just out there. Um, so yeah, that's what I see. That's my record. I'm giving you my record so you don't think you're wasting your time. And really, my purpose of making this video is the same purpose I had in posting that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are your next president, vice president before he picked Kamala as his vice president. I want to create a track record. And I know there's guys, they do this every year. They pick the president. So I come out and I pick before. And, if I'm wrong this time, I'm wrong. I'm 50-50. Uh, as long as I'm right on the market and the money goes in my pocket and hopefully yours, um, I'm good. Um, but anyway, I want to thank you for listening. Home prices, I see they are falling. Um, I'm going to try to get out there. There's a couple houses I want to look at myself. I'm not going to buy one, but just what I want to do. I like looking at them. I can teach you a few things on terms of how to look at a home yourself in terms of the inspection if you're buying something that's maybe not in perfect condition. Um, and yeah, I don't know. If anything, I hope my experience in terms of my experience in the market is a motivating factor for you to say, well, I should and I can. And the rich guys from Wall Street aren't going into the convenience store buying scratch offs like I am, and they're driving a Ferrari and I'm driving a bicycle. So maybe I should do what they do. They don't want you there. They don't want you in their market. They don't want you trading the way I trade, where I look at the stock market as my piggy bank. I'm supposed to be corporate America's piggy bank. What an investment is supposed to be. That's the purpose of it, and it's supposed to be done through the proper channels, a broker and a bank, and da 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 da. Not some free trading app. Now, all this data from the free trading app is controlled and sold by the hedge funds, so they use this to. And with AI, it's going to get crazy. Um, the abilities that they have had access to AI prior to us, and all this talk about this private sector AI being well, let me tell you, the government already has godlike AI. They already have it. What they're saying they're gonna be able to create for you and me, or supposedly supposed to, they already have it. It was 20 years before someone saw a computer. The government had these computers for 20 years. So anyway, if you're young, unemployed, I tell you to go join the man. Go get a job with the government. Anyway, with that, I'll check out here. I'm gonna be well. I'll get into that later. But you know, if you like the video, like it. I think you'll like it a lot more when Kamala winds up your president and Trump loses. One other thing, I do expect a certain level of social unrest this summer out of just about anything that goes on. It'll sort of be a prelude to what's going to be coming in the following year. And I'm getting to the point where I'm not sure whether the uprising is coming from the right or the left. I should call it black or white because that's basically what it's become. I watch all the news channels. I got to say, I watch MSNBC and I have a hard time listening to them, talk about economic equality because everything they say is racially tainted. It's just racist. And if they don't mention it, the color of someone's skin, I know what they're about and what it's for. It's like, but anyway, um, keep up the faith, work hard, don't give anything back. Put it in that stock market, make it your piggy bank.